Hey everyone, so in this video, we're just going to be continuing on from our ratios. And when we have our ratios, we can scale up and down like normal, but then we can also scale it all the way down to 1. And when we scale something all the way down to 1, we call that a unit rate, okay? And that's where we come with our next topic, which is rates. So a rate, it simply means for every one of something. And we have three general ways we can talk about rate. We can talk about, like I said, for every one. So if you see that, you know that we're going to be talking about a rate. Another one we can talk about is how much do I need for each one? So that word each refers to one. And one you probably see all the time, is probably per. So per usually means how much you need per one of something else. And most commonly, you probably see how many kilometers are you going per, per kilometer. So how many kilometers for every 1 hour, okay? Um, One of the classic examples for rates are, like we did in class, pizza. So how many pizzas do I need if I'm going to feed a bunch of people? Well, that's a good question. We all have parties and everyone loves a pizza party. So in example in class, we can talk about, well, I'm going to order 2 pizzas and I think that's going to feed about 8 people. All right, so if I have 2 pizzas for 8 people, I want to know, well, how many people are going to be fed with each pizza? Or for every one pizza I have, how many people get to eat? I can also phrase this as how many people eat per pizza? Well, I want to know per pizza or for every one pizza. So what I need to do is I need to scale down my pizzas to 1. If I scale it down, how does 2 scale down to 1? Well, I need to divide it by 2. If I divide 2 by 2, that's the top, I need to divide the bottom by 2. 8 divided by 2, and that's going to equal 4. And here you can see, well, how many people get to eat per pizza? Well, every time I have 1 pizza, 4 people get to eat. So if I have 2 pizzas, 8 people get to eat. If I have 3 pizzas, well, I need to have 4 people for 1 pizza. So that's going to be 12 people for 3 pizzas. You can see every time I add 1 pizza, I'm going to add 4 people. Okay. The other way we can also look at unit rates is sometimes I can say, well, how many people does 1 pizza feed? Or I can also ask, well, how many, how much pizza does 1 person get to eat? So remember that 1 person, how much pizza per person? So since it's going to be per person, I need to scale the people down to 1. How does 4 get down to 1? Well, I simply divide by 4. If I divide the bottom by 4, I need to divide the top by 4. And I know that 1 divided by 4 is the same as 1 over 4. And so I can write this down here as just 1 over 4. And we can see, well, let's look at this. How much pizza does each person get? Each person gets, well, 1/4 of a pizza. And that kind of makes sense. If I draw my pizza out here, right, 1 pizza gets to feed 4 people. But if I divide this pizza into 4, that means each person. So if I have a full pizza, I share it equally amongst 4 people. That means each person's going to get 1/4 of the pizza. Okay? Last thing I'm going to say for this one is usually when we get down to our unit rates, we always have 2 different unit rates. We can see here unit rates, how much pizza per person or how many people get to eat per pizza. And you'll also notice here that these ratios have a relationship where the opposite ratios are going to have a inverse relationship. Okay, inverse means like we flip it upside down or we turn it inside out. We call this inverse relationship, we call it when we find the inverse of something, we call that the reciprocal. Okay, it's just a fancy math word which means you flip it over. Okay, well, I hope that helps. In the next video, we're actually going to look at one of the problems from class. And then the last video, we're just going to look at using the additive and multiplicative thinking together. Okay, catch you there.